Hello, everybody. Welcome to Connections Realty Group and Friends. I have a great friend with me today, Mr. Derek Griffin of the Derek Todd Agency. And Derek, tell everybody a little bit about you, and we're going to get into this great conversation.
Okay. All right. A little bit about me. I got something. I'm from Maryland. Uh, Grew up there in the Washington D.C. metropolitan area, the DMV. Relocated to Atlanta 30 some odd years ago, and got married. Been married 32 years.
Yeah.
Three kids, three grown kids, adults, and a couple of them are in the entertainment industry. And,
Okay.
they're songwriters and artists, musical artists, and um, just excited. I have my own agency, obviously the Derek Todd Agency. I've been in insurance over 25 years. Have done quite a few different areas of insurance, and just as of the last couple of years, have my own agency. We focus in on life, retirement, long-term care, and estate planning.
Well, I love it because we need you. I'm getting ready to turn 55, so I need all those things you just said. That's number one. So, Derek, today I wanted to talk to you about what life insurance is for. Because I hear a lot of people, a lot of times, people just think about, well, when I die, I need to be buried. And there's so many more things to that. So if you could share with people what really is life insurance for?
Okay. Well, life insurance, it has several different aspects, and it can be used in many different ways. Certain elements in our community, certain folks in our community, we only know it for burial, right?
Right.
When we die, we have life insurance to pay the funeral home and, have a funeral. Well, there's such a thing called final expense insurance. Final expense insurance, it's life insurance as well, but it's primarily designed for burial. It's not designed for income replacement in case there's a catastrophic loss in your family, someone who was the breadwinner, who was bringing in all the money to pay the bills. Then life insurance becomes something of an income replacement tool, right? Not necessarily for burying someone, but to bring income so you don't lose the home because now you lost half or more of the income that's coming into the house. You don't lose the cars, you don't lose the educational, finances and
Right.
things, or your lifestyle. You can maintain your lifestyle by making the right decision on using life insurance for income replacement. But lately, what I've been bringing to light to my clients is that rather than look at life insurance as a death benefit type of deal, look at it as a living benefit. Most folks who have financial savvy or knowledge, they know that life insurance can be used to build wealth.
Mm.
It's an actual wealth tool. As a matter of fact, it's probably the quickest way to become wealthy by using life insurance in that manner as a living benefit and not necessarily focused on the dying. So what does that mean, Derek? A living benefit. That means that I'm actually benefiting from the insurance to pay for my lifestyle, to help me to invest, to help me to educate my children and pay for their college tuition, to help me to go on vacations around the world, to even provide loans to others that may need a loan. I can use life insurance for that. So there's so many ways that those who are knowledgeable take that life insurance and use it in all three aspects. I mean, I literally have advised my clients get you a final expense policy so that when you have a death in the family, that's the only policy the funeral home will see. They don't need to see your $500,000 policy, okay?
Right.
They don't need to see your $1,000,000 policy. They don't need to see your $250,000 policy because when the funeral home sees that, they're gonna run up the price. Forgive me, funeral home, you know what to do. But they're gonna, because you're emotional
Right.
and you're gonna wanna do something really nice for the loved one, and they show you the most expensive casket, and because they're the ones that are calling the insurance company to get the money liquidated to them to pay for their services because they ask for your policy.
Right.
Well, rather than giving them that nice policy where the majority, if not all of that money should be left behind for your loved one, give them the final expense policy. Now, the other insurance policy that you have for for those who will be living, they
Right.
get all the money.
Right.
The other thing that I'd like to share about life insurance that most people don't understand is that the death benefit or the money when it comes to the beneficiary is tax free. So what does that mean? That means that we also educate our clients, let's use life insurance to avoid taxes in our finances.
Gotcha.
Because, that's one of the things that most people don't realize. There are legal ways by which you can avoid taxes and build wealth because wealth, the more you make, the more the government's going to want to do what? take.
Take, right.
So we avoid that scenario by using life insurance as a strategy in our overall financial profile.
And I love that because what you just said, I think sometimes, not for all, but a lot of people only have one policy, just the life, and it's supposed to cover everything. So I want to talk about this because I think, we think in terms of, oh, I'm gonna leave my family, whatever that number is, then the final expense all in one. But I want to talk about because I know we did a needs analysis. And everybody doesn't need the same amount of money, right? The
Mhm.
same type of coverage because it depends on your situation,
Right.
right? So just don't say, "Well, I got me 100,000." It's 100,000 depending on you and your wife's family lifestyle. You have kids that might want to go to college. I don't know if 100 is enough. So let's talk about this needs analysis.
Right.
What's usually covered in that to help people decide how much you really need.
Right. Well, as I said before, the four crucial areas that my agency focuses on when we do a needs analysis with clients is the life insurance piece, right? And in that life insurance, in the needs analysis, we want to determine first of all if you already have policies. That's a good thing, but we want to take a look at them because some folks have policies that may be close to expiring, right? And a lot of
Mm,
times, folks don't read the fine print in those policies, which could be putting you in a detrimental situation and not a beneficial situation. So we want to make sure, number one, the amount of coverage you have with the policies, if it's enough, so there aren't any gaps. Number two, if you have the right type of policies based on where you are in life,
mhm.
right? Because a lot of folks want whole life insurance. Okay, are you ready for that? Some people had term and the term is about to expire and then the cost of insurance is going to go up for you, right? So we have to look at life, and then we also in that life needs analysis, we want to determine where you are relative to final expense. Now, I want to talk about that again because some folks have issues relative to qualifying for insurance based on health insurance, right? We know that there's a dominant issue relative to diabetes in our community, high blood pressure, all these different obesity, those kinds of things, and they can those types of things can keep you from acquiring life insurance. I mean, literally, they will
Right.
decline you. But there are certain things that I know I have in my arsenal as an agent that we can provide coverage for you through other types of programs that does not have health as a mainstay in terms of approval. Programs that you can insure up to 8 people for $85 a month.
Well, yeah, and we're gonna do another segment on that because y'all, it is hot. But okay, yes, but
But
absolutely,
and then, of
yes.
course, after we do that, the needs analysis looks at your retirement because folks are either working for a company where they may have a 401k or they may not have a
Right.
401k. It's optional. You know what I mean? And then you have people who may have had several jobs and they had a 401k at a previous job and it's still there. You know what I mean? Or they may have
Right.
one or two other jobs and it's still there, but they're at a disadvantage because there's no longer matching funds in that 401k when you leave. And now you've got a 401k that could be losing money, right? Because it's
Absolutely.
it's tied to the market. And so we have to analyze to make sure you're not losing money because the key of doing an analysis is to find out how can we protect the money you have, grow that money you have, not have it at risk, right?
Right.
Capture all the gains, no losses, and make sure that your future, when you're ready to retire, is fully endowed. So you don't want to be at retirement where you have to take a part-time job to maintain your lifestyle. What's the point of retiring and taking on another job because you have to? You want to do that because you want to. So
Right.
we talk about those things in the needs analysis, how do we get you there? And then you get a full bird's eye view of every aspect of your life as it pertains to life, retirement, long-term care, which is a huge issue these days because a lot of our families are losing their wealth, their assets, because they're doing things like using Medicare, Medicaid
Right.
to cover
And
for
we're gonna
loved
talk
ones.
about
We're gonna do
that
that
too.
later.
Yeah, in another segment. Look, he got
Yeah.
so much wealth
So
of information. I'm
we look
telling
at
you.
all that.
Yes,
And then
yes.
lastly, estate planning. We know that's important because you don't want to end up in probate court when you don't have a will. You don't want to lose assets to a lawsuit or bankruptcy without knowing how you can use trust to protect yourself from those kinds of things,
Right.
to ensure that your wealth is transferred to the next generation, your children, your grandchildren. It's what the Rockefellers have done
Right.
and all of those folks that we know about that are in the wealth or the elite, if you will. They use insurance, they use trust, they use will,
Right.
and we can too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not a hard process. It's just something that we need to do. I know there were reels going on that was talking about, oh, yeah, because you need to put it in trust. But how many of you have actually done it? And that's the thing that we need to do. Knowledge not applied equals zero. Okay.
Amen.
So we want you to give us a call. The number and the email is running across the screen. So that way you can reach out and we can set something up with Derek and his team. I'm telling y'all, it is one, just imagine being able to sleep well,
Yeah,
knowing that if something, not if, when something happens to you, because we're all going,
exactly.
that your family is going to be taken care of and things are going to be done the way that you intend them to be. But y'all know what time it is. You either need to go back to work or go back to sleep. Y'all, Connections Realty Group and friends, I'm here with my friend Derek Griffin of the Derek Todd Agency. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye bye.